Hello and welcome to Blue Suede News. We'll be reviewing the good, the bad and the utterly stupid of the last month. As usual, this is a live show, so if you're watching, please say hello in the comments and comment whatever you want during the show because we are interactive. However, if you're watching on Facebook, you're not, because Facebook is broken. So if you see this on Facebook, it's probably a day or so later and unfortunately won't be interactive because Facebook is broke. It stopped working and won't let us broadcast to it, and it won't let us message each other or anything like that. So when you do see this on Facebook, welcome to the show, and I hope you enjoy it. Let me bring on our guests for tonight. We have Katie Brown.
Hi.
We have Lord Sparkles. And we have George Coppen.
Hello.
Good evening. I'm going to come to each of you in turn and ask you to introduce yourself. So we'll go to... I'm going to do this in a funny way. I'm going to go to George first.
Oh, hello. My name is George Coppen, actor, comedian, and professional dwarf.
Let's go to Lord Sparkles.
No.
That's amazing.
I got this thanks to Katie and George. Not just this, but this one as well. This is rawsome. Oh, I'm Al Grant, by the way. Lord Sparkles, Lord Sparkles. You get the gist.
Thank you very much, Lord Sparkles. Let's go to Katie.
I'm Katie. I'm a comedian and a recent TV star, if anyone has seen. Thanks very much, Lord Sparkles. Yeah, I was a combination and a Wednesday. Spent it all long before the episode aired, so now I'm poor.
So, actually, I've been on the radio tonight. So,
Did you get any money?
No.
Katie wins.
Katie wins, yeah, definitely. So, anyway, I'd like to say greetings to our viewers and a special hello to the viewers who have supported this show over the period it's been on. If you look into the comments, you will see there's a link for the Buy Me a Coffee page. And if anyone buys us a coffee, it will be distributed amongst the guests. We all like coffee, and we would love it if you would buy us a coffee. So if you enjoy the show, buy us a coffee. Anyway, shall we... I ought to do the housekeeping rules as well. Right? On this show, I don't give out points, because points mean...
Oh
no!
So the panelists are just battling away against each other just purely for pride. No points.
Rock on!
Wrong show, Al. Let's...
London Marathon yesterday, wasn't it?
Let's get the first round underway.
What's the story? Morning Glory.
There's plenty of stories we could have gone at from September. We are, of course, doing a review of September. But everything, seemed to change towards the end of the month. But we will be regressing a little bit during this round, I'm sure. So let me reveal what the first story, what the main story of the month is going to be from September. It's the fuel crisis. Does anyone want to go first on this?
Do you know what? This is said there's going to be a fuel shortage, and everybody went, oh my God, the Sun, that purveyor of fact and truth, has said there's going to be no fuel. So I must get fuel. And then everybody filled their cars up. Now there's no fuel. And there was never a fuel shortage. There's plenty of fuel to go around for everybody. There's just not as many as there were previously, but media have made it go crazy. So now, when I have a gig in Sheffield, I have to do squeaky bum time, hoping that I'm going to have fuel to get me there and back. So fuck you, the Sun.
Does the Sun get your soothsayer? They predicted it.
No, because they didn't predict it on this show.
There you go. Well, I was amused while walking to Costco from Halfords because I couldn't get into Costco. Why was I going there? Doesn't really matter. That's not important. That's just backstory. That's just wasting time. But when I was there, I sent to the WhatsApp group, which you can't look at now at the moment because it's broken, a picture of an interviewer who said, "How do you feel that you've spent the last half an hour queuing up for fuel?" "I'm all right about it," was the person's response, followed up by the second question of, "Do you think people are panic buying?" as the queue tailed all the way up the Wyvern and past Pride Park. By the way, this is in Derby. So I'm just amused by the entire shenanigans. And people, we don't live in the southeast.
Do you know what the interviewer's name was?
No, but I took a photograph. So you,
Yeah,
in fact,
It's you should say that. He wasn't at Costco in Derby, unfortunately, but he was sent out by BBC Breakfast, and he was called Phil McCann. Someone was having a laugh, weren't they?
I've actually heard rumours that all these petrol stations are empty and nothing's happening. Tim Martin's actually buying them all to try and turn them all into Weatherspoons.
But by the way, we do have someone commenting.
Hey, Dan.
Hey. And he's particularly complimentary on you, Katie.
Thanks, Dan. Because I made morning in half an hour.
That's fast.
Yeah.
Actually, I like putting these messages on from Dan. George vanishes.
But when I was driving back from London about a week or two ago, and because I've been working, I hadn't really seen the news, so I didn't really know what was going on. So I needed to fill up, and there was a petrol station near me with a small queue. I thought, that's too big, I won't go there. And then, wish I had, because I ended up at a place called Kingsway in Derby, and they waited like 45 minutes to get filled up. And what the hell was that picture?
It's the person interviewing people at Costco.
What is having that interviewing people in cars?
No, the best person I saw being interviewed was someone, obviously they were queuing up to get petrol, and the reporter asked us to make, goes, "Oh, do you need fuel?" And the woman goes, "Oh no, I just saw everybody else queuing, so I thought I'd join." It's like, what the fuck?
I haven't lined this one up, but did you see the story about the guy with a tanker? He was driving a tanker full of mortar, but people didn't think it was mortar. They thought it was petrol, and they followed him all the way until he turned into a building site.
Fortunately, they weren't following a septic tank.
Yeah.
I've been up and down the A1 a lot, and I'm stuck behind what I think is a tanker, and no, it turns out just to be sugar. So I'm quite happy to follow the sugar tanker, though. I'll follow that anyway. It's the worst where you get stuck behind milk.
So Katie, you're blaming the people who are panic buying. You're not blaming this gentleman for being such a shit prime minister.
No, I'm blaming the media for because all this is spin and a way of selling papers. It's been more and more news. They've basically created their own news. So obviously there's not much happening with COVID at the minute, not much happening with Brexit at the minute. So what can we do? We'll create our own news. We'll tell them there's going to be a fuel shortage. We'll watch them all react to the fuel shortage. They'll create their own fuel shortage, and then we can continue to report the fuel shortage. And it's just made news for weeks now, and it's completely unnecessary.
So you're saying it's not Boris's fault. So it's nothing to do with a shortage of lorry drivers.
No.
Well, no, because it was all being managed, and then somebody at the Sun said, "Oh no, look, there's not many lorry drivers, so there's going to be a shortage." There was never to be a fuel shortage. There was a potential possibility of struggling to supply, but not to this extent. If they'd have just reported on it and kept it ticking over as it was going, they would have managed and it would have been fine. But instead, what happened was a reporter went, let's create our own news, did it, they made the news, they got their crisis, and now we're in an issue. So Boris is a plum-faced twat, don't get me wrong, but on this instance, I don't think it's specifically his fault.
Well, I've got rid of him then. He's
No,
gone.
you know whose fault it
Okay.
is? I do know who actually started this. It was Prince Andrew, because obviously he wanted the media off of him. And he thought, what shall I do? I know, I steal all the fuel, because no one's now paying attention to Prince Andrew.
This
I
is the
think
petrol
somebody-
station. This is a supermarket.
It's
No,
very
food.
clean.
And empty.
But it's probably a stock take day.
Is she just
And
finished
then
counting for
dominated
hide
by
and seek?
food.
There are supply shortages throughout the economy at the moment.
Has anybody asked Elon Musk where he was when this story broke? Because I'm convinced it's something to do with electric cars.
He was firing another rocket into space.
Yeah,
Which
it's
is independent of the story of Jeff Bezos throwing William Shatner.
Yeah. He's launching Kirk.
That's for next month.
I know.
This woman in this picture is panicking there's no food. Has nobody told her if she takes a small look to the left, she'll be absolutely fine?
Well, I'm saying something completely different there, George. I'm saying that she's thinking, oh, that's good. My diet can work.
So,
Oh, but
yeah,
I was on a
talking
seafood
about
diet.
diets. Yeah, talking about diets now. I went to a bottomless brunch the other day. I asked for my money back because I still had my bottom afterwards.
It wasn't the Mexican then.
No. So, but it's not just supermarkets. What's this?
A
Soda
dildo.
stream running
It's
out.
not
Of,
a dildo.
It's a CO2
no more soda stream.
gas canister. So it's all sorts of things are running out at the moment.
That actually reminds me, a while ago, I was in London or around the London area, I needed to fill up. So this is for the fuel crisis. So I said to my phone, take me to the nearest petrol station. About 10 minutes later, I drive this big factory turf with all of those gas canisters. It's like, that is not what I wanted. I cannot fill up with a load of gas canisters. I need petrol. And my phone's like, yeah, what do you want me to do about it? Like, well, shit.
There's been a shortage of helium for years, and we need helium because that's what runs MRI machines, and that's what makes a party awesome. And nobody seems to be bothered that we are running very low, and then the Earth will run out of helium within our lifetime, and nobody's like frantically panic buying that.
Wait. Helium are used in MRI machines.
Yeah, it's used in a lot of things. It's to do with also used for superconductivity by lowering the temperature for stuff. It's obviously is slightly heavier than hydrogen, but it's still very light. And that's why you don't put it in latex
volatile.
balloons, because it's too small and it will go straight through.
And it can give you a really
Resident
silly
balloon
voice.
expert.
Yeah, I did not know that. But it's a good job that we're running out of helium, because if this world had a load of helium, we'll just be floating up. Like the whole planet will just get against close to the sun.
But we do need helium, and it has a purpose beyond just balloons. And yet nobody, because people don't generally know about it, that it's needed for things beyond balloons, then there isn't this much of a furore. And it's running as you take away something that somebody needs on a daily basis, and they don't realise that they're conscious that they need on a daily basis, and they panic. But it's just as bad. It's just that it's not reported on as freely as everything else that's running down.
And they
also,
mine the gas. They mine helium.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm going to bring on the next round.
Of toast.
Because on this show, rounds aren't in short supply.
Neither's toast.
Are you ready?
Faking it.
This is the Faking It round, where I give each of my panelists a story, and all they have to do is tell me whether it's a factual story or whether it's fake news. So, who shall I go to first? Oh, I might go to Katie first.
Ooh.
So, let's see what we've got. John Lewis is chartering a fleet of ships to make sure its Christmas stock arrives on time. John Lewis chair Sharon Wright said the business was throwing everything at the issues to make sure their Christmas would not be disrupted.
Is there any more information, or is that me lot?
That's all I'm going to give you.
Okay. I so want this to be fake news. I'm going to say it's fake because I can't. I like
So
them,
you're-
so I don't want to be annoyed at them.
So you're going fake. You're saying John
Yeah.
Lewis isn't worried about getting its products to its stores.
No,
So,
saying that, I'm saying I don't think that they've got all the boats and everything.
Okay. Let's see whether you're right or not. It's a factual story. They have chartered ships to make sure the containers arrive on time.
You double bluffed me because you had a name, and I thought, well, he does names when it's right. But I remember telling you do names, and I thought, well, maybe he's thrown a name in to throw me.
Yeah, but is it
And
now
I
a
just
triple
really-
bluff?
Like my head
Well
was
done,
doing
Roger.
some enigma shit, and now I feel like really embarrassed.
So, right. Who shall we go to next? We'll go to George. Do you like trains, George?
I like trains.
Right, I thought I better not give a train
I
story
like
to Katie.
I like trains.
A train carriage used during the filming in the quarry in Derbyshire brought traffic to a standstill in Chesterfield after it got stuck under a railway bridge. The carriage used in the latest Mission Impossible film made it impossible for people to get home during the rush hour.
What day was this on to say?
This was a couple of weeks ago.
I remember seeing a train going off a mountain. Thankfully, it was one of their trains crashing. And I did hear about Tom getting a load of stuff nicked. Typical only in Derby. Tom Cruise getting it stolen. Derbyshire. Sorry. Will you get something nicked?
This is the train carriage that was used in that filming sequence. Hence why it's...
In that case, I'm going fake. I'm pretty sure the one in that video was a different colour. I'm going fake news.
Okay, let's see whether you're right or not.
Man, we
Two.
are doing
Two. I get the hat trick there, Rog.
I know.
Come on now.
So
We need this.
I wish I had the video to show you. It is the same train carriage as what they dropped from a great height into a quarry. So one
Isn't
week
this
they
what
did it
happened
with
on
an actual
Coronation Street
train.
once?
Probably.
So anyway, it's Lord Sparkle's turn.
Come on now. You got this.
Go on,
Lord
Al, you can do
Sparkle.
it.
Here's your photo, Lord Sparkles.
I don't
That's
look
sad.
like that.
He's your brother.
Right. iPhones get damaged by motorbikes. Apple iPhones are at risk from vibrations produced by motorbikes. iPhone owners have been told to beware of attaching their iPhones to powerful motorbikes as the vibrations generated can damage the cameras.
The cameras? Okay.
Yeah.
Is that the front or is it the rear?
Let me. The engine vibrations can cause harm to the phone's optical image stabilization.
Right. Okay, that sounds true. So I'm going to give you the hat trick. I'm going to go for false. Fake.
I'm gonna go,
Fake. You need the hat trick. You need the hat trick.
you're saying fake.
Yeah, that.
Yes, I've got the hat trick. Thank
Yes,
you.
you got the hat trick.
You know what?
Because that looks a very, very bad Photoshop image.
The
I
one of
think
the
it's done
ship
a
with
lot
John
more.
Lewis on the side didn't.
That looked good. The John Lewis one. That one looks.
I wish I'd got that one because I thought that one was true.
I knew it
The
was
thing
true.
is, you can sneeze near an iPhone and it stops working, so that's unbelievable.
That's only because they're made by Samsung.
iPhone?
Yeah, all Samsung components.
Apparently, it is the image, the optical image stabilization that gets wrecked by the vibrations of motorbikes, and the closed loop autofocus system. So there.
Oh,
We shouldn't drive, well, be on a motorbike and then get your phone out. So if anybody's going to do that, they deserve their phone broken, twats.
Well, what they're saying, you can get dampened phone holders, so they don't vibrate as much. It's the ones that are really fixed and hold them firm, so they vibrate with the motorbike where it's a problem.
Dan, if you're still watching, how did you do? If you're still watching.
So, let's just see. Oh, hang on. Apparently, he's quit his job at the Helium factory. He refused to be spoken to in that tone. And he's commented on the railway carriage one. Apparently, it's near his house, which it is near his house. So, and Dan said this year's John Lewis adverts look shit. He's on form, isn't he?
Oh, well
Keep it
done,
up,
Dan.
Dan.
Come on, give him a rim shot for that one.
Yeah.
All right.
that
There
sounded
we go.
a weird way to reward somebody for a bad pun.
You grip shot him now. Well, a job well
we
done.
did that every time someone did a bad pun, Roger would be walking very differently.
No. That was for the John Lewis advert. Looks shit.
So, I ought to bring on the next round, shouldn't I?
Do you remember what it is?
I'm not Rolf Harris.
Ooh.
You know what
That's
it
an
is?
unusual name for a round.
So,
In this week's guest,
I win. I'm the least Rolf Harris out of all of you because my beard is much smaller.
yeah, which beard?
All of them are smaller than any of your
All
beards.
of them.
My toe beard, my thumb beard.
Toe beard.
let's bring on the next round before Katie lists all the beards.
The rat of the month.
It was funny last month when we had Dan live on when he realised part of that voice was him. Well, we know who the other part was.
Oh, of course, it was Alex.
No, that was
Always
the previous one. That was the Pratt of the Week one, which was Alex. Anyway, Pratt of the Month. This is where my guests have nominated a Pratt of the Month. Each guest is going to take 45 seconds. I think it's 45 seconds. I can't quite remember.
It's 5 minutes we have each.
To justify their choice of their Pratt of the Month. Now, this first one, I wasn't sure where George was aiming his Pratt of the Month, so I've selected it for him.
Hey,
Right.
didn't I send you the link?
He's gone to Netflix. Right. So I'll let George start his story. Your time starts now.
So Netflix have released this new show. I think it's called like Squid Race or Squid Game, something along those lines. And apparently it's a really weird TV show. and during one of the episodes, there's a phone number shown. Netflix didn't bother to check if this phone number was real or not, and it belongs to an actual guy. So this guy's been getting inundated with phone calls and texts every single minute of every day since this show released. And Netflix, when the guy complained to Netflix just went, well, nothing we could do about it, just get a new phone. What? You should have checked the phone number, you absolute morons. You should have gone, right, this is going to be on a streaming website with millions of viewers. Let's check if the phone number works. If so, let's have a different number. Oh dear, what a shame. I don't think they're paying him.
So there you go, George Coppen's nomination of Netflix. So can you just imagine what you'd think if your phone just suddenly started ringing that much?
Even notice I haven't had the sound on my phone for about 10 years.
So
you get a feeling of what television's like after they gave you their number, Roger.
So anyway, so that was Netflix as nominated by George. The next one is this guy.
Hang on, sorry, can I just say, look who's ringing me.
Who?
It's Al Grant.
He's not there.
Hello?
Right. Does anyone know what this gentleman's called?
Yeah.
It's
That's
Dan
because
Live.
Lord Sparkles has picked him as the Prat of the Month. It's Liam Norton. Let's give Lord Sparkles his 45 seconds starting now.
This guy is not a darts player. He is not a darts player. This individual heads up an organization called Britain Insulate, something along those lines.
Insulate Britain.
Well, obviously the advertising's working on you there. These people are putting themselves at risk, and it reminds me of a little story about a Quaker who do not like to shoot or hurt people. They like to resolve things peacefully. A burglar went into a house owned by a Quaker in America. The Quaker had a gun and aimed it towards the door and said, I don't want to hurt you, burglar, but I'm going to empty my rifle here. And obviously, he shot the guy because the guy didn't get out of the way. These... Go play in the motorway is not an invite to do that!
How did we frigging go to a story about Quakers?
What is that about?
I thought I had a minute.
Right. Insulate Britain. Insulate Britain are the people currently trying to block the M25.
And use up all your fuel there, Katie, so you can't get to gigs.
So I'll go down there.
They've actually said the government is focusing on us rather than what's coming down the road. There's fuck all coming down the road. You blocked it!
Has he only got one arm?
He is actually utilising that.
That's what he's saying. He's saying, stop, excuse me, can I just finish my wank first? Then you can go.
Right, no comment.
Right.
I'm always there.
Shall we see? It's always amusing, Lord Sparkles doing his nominations. Shall we see who Katie has nominated? Right now, unfortunately for Katie, I didn't have a picture of the person. I know the person's name. The person's name is Sarah James Ellis. And
Yes.
Katie's 45 seconds starts now.
So Sarah Jane saw this out of her bedroom window. She had come home from a late night working as a nurse, but don't let that sway you because she's a twat. So she saw this alligator in neighbour's garden. So did she go to her neighbour and say, excuse me, do you know there's an alligator in your garden? No. What she did was of it and then put it to the papers and the media, and her neighbour still hasn't even spoken to her. The only reason that isn't an actual alligator, that is a toy crocodile that he bought his son and he uses it to scare away cats. And he
And
says now
neighbours.
he still hasn't spoken to his neighbour, who's reported his gun with Alligator in it all over the papers.
Yep.
That's why you scare cats.
I think that's
Apparently, the neighbour was looking at some social media where someone had shared this news story and thought, that looks like my garden.
I didn't even know. What an absolute bell end. What I mean, the thing is, you can contact anybody because you just say their name. You can find, I mean, when Facebook's working, you can contact anybody you need to and just send them a message and say, do you know there's a crocodile in your garden?
So, anyway, this is quite a difficult one. I've got the choice of Netflix. I mean, the crocodile one, I've seen something similar before. Once a police helicopter got sent out because someone reported there was a lion on the loose in the countryside. It was actually one of these big stuffed fairground lion things. And the helicopter flew down to it, and it actually fell over in the wind of the helicopter, and that's when the police realised it wasn't a real lion.
Why does the guy in the middle look like he's trying to stop a fight between a crocodile and Netflix or Alligator? He looks like, right, he's drunk. I'm sorry, my mate's drunk. He didn't mean it.
Yeah, he's trying to pitch a new film to Netflix called Alligator, Crocodiles in My Garden.
Crocodile Motorway.
And he's just trying to stop it happening.
Yeah.
I've got to say, there's been some real prats this month, and I'm a little bit disappointed with the calibre of the prats here.
Go on, then. Who would you prefer? Show us your nomination.
Yeah.
My nomination is going to be my first story of the next round.
Oh.
Right.
If I hadn't have known you were going to do the fuel story, I would have put the sun up for posting.
Yeah, that's what I
story.
did. I presumed you were going to do the fuel story.
You can all nominate whoever you want. Remember, I always say direct message me, and if someone else is nominated, I'll then just say someone else has nominated that. But nobody nominated the fuel story. Nobody nominated Boris Johnson, but he can't do anyway because he's a Blue Suede News prat in eternity. Yeah. But there's other people out there you could have nominated. Another story in the next round could have made a good nomination, but no, you've chosen with Netflix this guy who likes sitting in motorways and a plastic crocodile in a back garden.
And he's a hypocrite.
Talk about it like didn't just look through the news this morning very quickly and throw the first thing that came up at you.
Yeah, I mean, looking at this, I've got to say, I'm finding this so difficult because they are all prats, right? Netflix for not checking. It's not really Netflix. It's the people who made the program for Netflix. So I'm actually going to discount Netflix because of that. If it was producers of that program.
Yeah, but Netflix have said to the guy that he can't do anything to change his phone.
Well, they
should apologise.
They've publicised the number, haven't they? But they should buy him a new phone. So it comes down to the guy sat in the middle of the M25. Let's hope he does get run over. Or the plastic crocodile. Well, it's not the plastic crocodile. It's the woman who took the photo of the plastic crocodile. Don't you know they're meant to move after so long?
Well, it did. No, it did move. That's what threw her, because the next morning it had gone, and it was just because he had put it away. This crocodile's loose somewhere in the town.
So Richard says it's all just been told off by Roger.
Again.
So, well, I'll tell you what.
We upset
Dan and
Mummy.
Richard, can you nominate who you think Prat of the Month should be out of these three choices? Because I'm struggling.
Oh.
So,
can I change my nomination to you, Roger?
No. And that means George is out of the running.
Yeah.
No, I think we raised enough money for the dwarf games.
So, no, we've gained no nominations coming from our viewers. So either that or they're still thinking about it themselves. Right, I'm going to put this down here.
Yeah.
I'm going to decide who I want. I'm not going to do Netflix.
Right,
Oh, we've had a nomination in.
Oh.
Ooh.
Well done, Katie.
Actually, we've had both. We've had 2 nominations in, so it's going to have to be the one because they've both gone for the same one.
The same
Well
knob.
done to Katie. The Pratt of the month is Sarah Jane Ellis. So,
Wait, is that what those two said?
yeah. Well, this is Richard said. Can I say the drop? But I think he was under.
That was
duress.
coerced. What did Daniel Lythe say?
That
Katie's
was
crotch.
not correct. It was 2 floors down. He's 2 floors down.
Yeah,
I'm there
yeah.
with him.
Turn the
Yeah, if
camera
you had
around.
said that, you'd have been snappy, wouldn't you?
Okay, there is no man in my room. There is
He's
a
in the
shitload
wardrobe.
of
Check the
fabric.
wardrobes.
No, you
I
can't go
don't
in there.
think Richard's in the closet.
I fucking hope he's not.
So,
It took me a very long time to find him. If I have to give him away to a man, I will not be happy.
What if it's Al?
No.
Out and out. Yeah.
No!
I'll share with that.
anyway, congratulations
Just for
to
the
Katie.
story.
Katie, you're not going to get any points off me though, because
Point
points
being,
on this show.
Sod
no.
all.
anything
move
I'm
on
on
to
with
our
George,
next
points
round.
mean fuck all.
Hey, what me? It was Ben's fault.
Nah,
Here we go.
fucking-
The good, the bad, and the utterly stupid.
Okay, so this is a roundup of other stories from the month. So shall we see what I've selected? I know Katie loves railway stories, right? And that's why I've not just had the one about the train carriage. I've got this gentleman, right? This is a guy called Aaron Ohalloran, who drove on the railway lines.
What a knobhead.
What?
Right? A man has been jailed after driving a car down a railway track, causing 8 hours of passenger delays. Aaron Ohalloran, and he didn't even say he was working for Insulate. Aaron Ohalloran, 32, was caught on CCTV driving down the line for half a mile between Dudderston and Aston stations in Birmingham. He was jailed for 15 months and disqualified from driving for 2 years.
He was already disqualified as well, wasn't he?
Yeah, and he's also failed to win the Darwin Award because he didn't manage to kill himself.
You know the reason why he did that, though, don't you?
Why?
To avoid the clean air congestion charge.
Ah,
It's Birmingham. 15 quid. Save 15 quid. I'm sure he's going to prison, but at least he saved 15 quid.
would you like to see his antics?
Oh, God,
Yes. Yeah.
Fucking hell.
He stayed well within the lines. Excellent.
So, yeah, he did well. He did well. He didn't stop at the station though.
Did he have his tickets?
Oh, look who's arrived.
No, it's more points if they were given.
Anyway, I think Aaron O'Halloran was a prat. So, shall we? Yeah, have any of you want to make any comments about what an idiot he was for driving on the railway lines? I mean, it's just something you don't do.
I wonder if someone said to him, "Excuse me, sir, have you got your ticket?"
Well, he definitely got ticketed, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And the
Is that return
reason
or
why he did it
single?
was to avoid the rush hour.
Apparently, it caused £23,000 in damage.
How? What did he damage?
Well, he probably got blamed for everything that was broken on that half-a-mile stretch of line.
Yeah, that tree's falling down. His fault.
Yeah. So,
I've just had a message from Richard saying that everyone can hear Patch purring.
Yes. Yes.
Go on, off you go.
Go on, Nobbo.
so
He's a dickhead.
apparently, Dan says get George off that.
That's a noddy response.
Oh.
Yeah, it'd be a short train if George was driving it.
Alright, you bitch. You already kicked me off to the Netflix.
So, shall we find some other utterly stupid people?
Yeah.
You, Roger.
Oh, look, it's Boris and Rishi.
Yeah.
So
You're going to say
Let's
Ishi,
have a
weren't
story.
you?
yeah, I know
That's
it's
just Rishi.
Rishi.
How
So
could you?
anyway, these people, and I know.
I like the way you call them
he's-
people.
he's
Excellent.
favourite person. Well, right. This story is the social care bill and the increase in national insurance. Now, when a person, do any of you know what the increase in national insurance is?
I think it's 2.5%.
Well done, Lord Sparkles. It was actually all reported as 1.25%. But what people that's a,
That's the sound of a fat cat.
that is a politician's way of saying 2.5%. Because if you put national insurance up by 1.25%, there's an employee's national insurance and an employer's national insurance. For every pound an employee gets paid, they'll have to pay 2.5% national insurance going forward, extra. And who's it to pay for?
Furlough, allegedly.
No.
Pensioners, care services.
Lord Sparkle's
Care.
lights.
It's the
Can't
pay for
afford
care.
that.
Okay. So who won't be paying the 2.5% additional national insurance?
Is it
The
somebody
unemployed.
that earns over £1,000 a day?
The
Stockbrokers.
the people who have millions of pounds in their bank account and have retired.
Mm.
Right? It'd be paid by everybody who works. Therefore, younger people are being forced to pay for the elderly.
Well, it's about time they pay for something. Fucking
Listen to
All
you,
right,
Katie.
Katie.
No, I don't mean that. But I don't like entitled youngsters that think that the world should revolve around them. However, I'm still bitter that I can't go when I'm 60. So, I don't know. It's all shit. Nobody can do a better job because it's all shit. They are dealing, and I don't like them. I don't support them. I think they're penises. But they are dealing with a clusterfuck of bullshit that has been going on for years, and it's got worse and worse and worse. And then Brexit happened, COVID happened, and the whole country ended up on its arse, and they've gone, fuck, where do we get this money from? Let's pretend only take a little bit, but take double what we want. Hopefully no one will notice. And while I don't justify it, they need to get the money from somewhere. I don't know how they can get it because nobody wants to give anything. There are people with a lot of money that could be held accountable, especially people like Weatherspoon's man who took full advantage of the lockdown.
And bought up all the petrol stations.
What did they promise in their election manifesto?
Bananas.
To screw you over.
Not to increase national insurance.
Yeah, I didn't really listen to any of the bullshit that they came out with.
Because you didn't vote
So
for them.
do you know what they're doing? It's going to be on national insurance when it comes in for the first year, but then it's going to be called a different kind of national insurance. It's going to be called the social
National
care
insurance gold.
element. right? So, out of
National
people's
Insurance
pay
Plus.
packets, we'll have PAYE, you will have tax taken out, we'll have national insurance taken out, we'll have this new social care charge.
Social
And
care
once
premium.
they split it, social care premium, and once they split it out to a social care premium, there's nothing to stop them keep increasing that and saying, well, we're stuck with our election manifesto. National insurance is still the same rate as what it was when we got elected.
I have a question, and I wonder if anyone's thought of this. But you know how we've supposedly got a shortage of lorry drivers at the minute? And you know how we've got quite a lot of people who are unemployed at the minute? Has anybody thought about training up some unemployed people to be lorry drivers and then giving them a job?
Well, I can answer that question for you. Unfortunately, you need an HGV license, so you need to go and take an HGV test, and the
That's why I said
places
training
for test centres are inundated. You're looking at, well, the wrong side of Christmas
them.
to
There is
actually
a
get
3-month
the
waiting
test
list.
passed. And then you've got exorbitant insurance things. Do you want a person who's been unemployed for I don't know how long, who has not got control of a vehicle before, has managed to pass their test first time, let's assume that, in charge of, in fact, yeah, I want them to do it so they can run over those twats on the road.
There are
In fact, you've
people-
convinced me, Katie, that that's the right way to go. Don't even bother giving them a license. Give that Ryland guy who runs his car on the train tracks. Give him a license. Give him a nice little thing and just pile through all the M25 protesters who superglue their shitty hands to the floor.
It's strange. I should mention you'd be quite happy for them to run over people walking, blocking the road. Well, look at what Boris and Rishi's doing.
I don't know if any of you have been watching the new Spitting Image on BritBox. They've been taking a piss out of these two. It's so funny. If you haven't, I'd recommend it.
Well, there we go. There's advertising for BritBox. Make sure you get your sponsorship there, Roger.
I'm not on that one yet.
So I was plugging myself on BBC Radio Derby.
Really, I'm surprised they allow those kind of shenanigans on the BBC.
It's the BBC. What do you expect?
So anyway, and your name got mentioned on BBC Radio Derby as well, Katie.
Did it?
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Be afraid. Be very afraid.
You'll have to watch out for the link when I put it on and have a listen. It's right at the very end.
Oh.
I mentioned
Let me
Katie
listen to
Grant
the whole
and
thing.
Peterborough.
Yeah, it's at the end of an hour program, but you've got to listen to the whole hour.
No, it's about 10 minutes. Anyway, let's move on to the next story. Does anyone know what's going on here?
Yep.
Is that a new toasting machine?
It's not a toasting machine.
Is that liposuction?
Not quite, no.
It's fat freezing.
Ew.
To be honest, it looks more like one of those visual things that you do, your 3D imaging things.
Yeah.
I thought it was a molehill.
Do you know what I thought?
I used to have one of them. A Viewmaster. I used to have one of them, a red one, and you pushed it down, and there was an orangutan. I always called it an orangutan. Oh, I'm thinking of them.
Yeah.
Do you know when I first saw this picture, what I thought? I thought it was some sort of new Alien movie, and they found out a way of extracting them out of people's tummies when they got impregnated.
Yeah, this is the service you'll get if Elon Musk open a restaurant.
Anyway, this story involves somebody else who could have been Prat of the Month. Right? This is fat freezing. Supermodel Linda Evangelista says she has been left permanently deformed by a fat reduction procedure that went wrong. The non-surgical cosmetic procedure uses freezing temperatures to destroy fat and rid it from the body. The cosmetic treatment is based on a technique called cryolipolysis. There you go. I can pronounce these big scientific words.
What was it, Roger?
Cryolipolysis. So, But basically, this supermodel underwent this procedure and it's left her disfigured.
Shall we have a look at her? Have you got a picture of her?
Yeah,
No, I haven't got a picture of her.
Oh.
You'll have to Google her.
I don't know.
Question.
I don't know about anyone else, but I thought like
It was a penis enlarger.
call me cutting edge or what, I don't know. But isn't the way to reduce fat in your body by eating less and moving more?
They do actually say that in the news article as well. However, there are still stubborn areas which still happen.
Stubborn fat.
I mean, yeah, to be fair, all my areas are stubborn as fuck. They just will not move and they like their food.
Yeah.
Has this woman never watched Doctor Who? Because this was an episode of Doctor Who where the fat literally was the alien and killed people. Like, come on, woman.
George, I've never watched Doctor Who.
Well,
So,
you've never been on Fun Night again.
But what gets me is that this procedure was undertaken by a supermodel. Do they have any fat on them? Is that why it went wrong?
Like a bone got sucked in.
Yeah.
Their eyeballs.
It makes me so sad because, like, this is what people think now. No one is happy to just be themselves. They've got to try and be like someone else. Well, no, I know because we're all awesome, but like you see, like, somebody's always trying to be like someone else. Somebody's always trying to look like somebody else. Somebody's trying to be as thin as they can be and beat someone else. Nobody seems to just be happy to go around being their awesome selves, because everybody is awesome and amazing in their own way, and we seem to lose sight of this so much. I've fallen foul of it many a time when I think, oh, I should be a bit thinner and a bit better looking, and I should do more with my hair and this, that, and the other. You're right, Alex.
Hey, actually,
But then, like, to see stuff like this, and even though this has gone wrong and scarred her forever, they'll still fucking do it. You look at all the sex doll look stars in LA, all look. I thought you were laughing at me. Fuck you, Alex. Upstaging me again, Jesus. I was mid-rant. I'm in a mood. I just want everybody to love themselves.
Get the fat cat again.
But
Get the fat cat.
I agree with you, Casey. I would never undergo procedures like this myself. And the other one, which I don't like to see, is the Botox and the lip fillers, especially the lip fillers. They look ridiculous afterwards. I mean, I don't know if any of you saw the new episode of Never Mind the Buzzcocks on Sky, but they had Ellie Goulding on, and she'd obviously had lip fillers, and she looked like a cartoon. You know, it's
The only lip fillers you should have are sandwiches.
yeah. Looks like a bloody fish that has gone wrong. Oh,
it's like
Alex Liam is apologising to you, Katie.
So Alex, you never need to apologise.
On this morning, there was these two girls on there. They were twins, and they spent about £80,000 each to look identical. It's like, what the fuck? Why would you do that? Firstly, why have you got 80 grand? I'll have it if you're gonna throw it down the toilet. Secondly, why do you want to look identical? You absolute pair of twats.
I think some people may have been telling them to go fuck themselves. And that's the way to do it.
Yeah. Is that what you're saying now?
That's exactly what I'm saying. Oh, I'll look at you this time. There we go.
But that picture you had on looks so weird. You could have used it in a fact or fiction round.
I know.
Yeah.
I nearly did.
Fat or fiction?
Fat or fiction, yeah. So let's move on to the penultimate. Let's move on to the penultimate round.
I predict a riot.
This is the I Predict a Riot round, where each of my guests can make a prediction. And if that prediction comes right within 12 months, they get a certificate from the show and are certified Blue Suede News soothsayers. So who shall we go to first? No, we'll go to Lord Sparkles first.
My prediction is that within 12 months, we'll have another COVID outbreak, but nobody will care.
That already happened in the third outbreak.
No, people cared. Now they don't. I think they won't. They've had the D variant, the D variant. We're going to have the E, perhaps. That one. E. We're going for the F. Going for the F. It's going to have an F, and no one's going to care.
Well, you're on the Greek alphabet, aren't you? So, shall we have a look at what variant?
Delta Epsilon Foxtrot. Yeah, it'll be the Foxtrot variant.
The strictly variant.
Shirley Ballas will come by to do all
Oh
the
no! I've decided. No, I've changed my mind. I predict that at the end of Strictly, there won't be any relationship breakups at all.
But by this time next year, we'll probably have the iota variant, and nobody will give one iota about it.
But
Alex,
so yeah, I've changed my mind if that's acceptable to go for the latest round of Strictly Come Dancing. Well done, Alex. It's his swimming certificate. Let me just grope somebody. Are you ready? There we go. Oh! Your turn, George.
Yeah.
This is why he uses aliases rather than his proper name.
So my prediction is that there will be no breakups with the contestants on Strictly Come Dancing because they usually have affairs. I don't think there'll be any affairs this time on Strictly Come Dancing for this season.
Everybody will stay with their correct partners.
Allegedly, yeah.
Okay.
They're going to cheat. That's what they do. That's part of the charm of the program.
Okay, let's go to Katie.
I think I'm going to get arrested for starting a fight in a petrol station over some bitch who pushes in front of me because it's already happened twice and it won't take long before I get caught.
Richard,
History
stop
repeats
putting
itself.
up in front of her in the petrol station, Richard. You wait your turn.
Yeah, just don't panic, Katie. Everything's all right if you don't panic.
I'm not panicked. I just really, really dislike people who cannot follow rules.
Yeah, Katie, don't panic.
The panic, Katie.
Don't panic. George,
I'm good.
can I have your prediction, please?
Yeah, I predict, and it was announced this morning for Dancing on Ice. I don't know if anyone's seen it. LOL. Yeah, I don't know if you've seen it, but you know Bez from the Happy Mondays?
Yeah.
He's doing Dancing on Ice next year. I predict he's going to win.
You think he'll win?
Yeah, he's going to win.
I give him 2 weeks before he's broken his ankle.
Right, so
He'll be too high, won't notice.
Exactly. Carry on.
I'm going to go for broken ribs.
No, he's going to win. Bez is going to win.
Do you want to go for any broken bones, Al?
That sounds like fighting talk to me. Shattered pelvis.
Wow.
Bloody hell.
It's not just broken. That's it.
Go home.
Right. The only thing we haven't done there is move him onto the Deadpool.
No, if I'd have waited a bit longer before I did my Pratt of the Month, I would have put John Barrowman in because I only heard the story later on today. And it was you what? Sorry.
Yeah, he'd been sacked from Dancing on Ice.
Yeah, but he's not
What's
really
he
been
done?
sacked. He
basically-
exposed himself to other
On
shows.
Doctor Who.
Yeah, basically, there's a big story about him having an enormous willy, and he quite
That's why
likes
they call
to
him
show
the
it off.
Barrow Man. More like the Marrow Man.
And I
Hark
think
this,
somebody
hark
didn't like
this.
it,
It's a
and
melon
so
man.
he ended
Just
up
in
with
the
his
melon
cat.
man.
Oh god. Exterminate.
So
Yeah, he basically exposed himself on Doctor
yeah,
Who.
when,
and
when,
talked
when
to
he's in
him
a
and got-
Dalek, he doesn't.
Yeah.
It's not the gun.
When he says, "Do you want to see my
It's like
TARDIS?" Don't
cool.
say yes.
Anyway, it's time for the last round of the show.
Put up, log in it.
I like
This
the way
is
you
why
did that,
I-
George, just now.
Thank you, Al. Thank you. Yeah, no, it's very quick, wasn't it?
This is where I invite my guests to plug whatever they want to plug. So we'll go to George first. Have you got anything you want to plug?
Well, everything I've got, Alex, Dan, and Richard already know about. So I'll plug just in case some randomer I've never met is watching. So basically, anyone from TerraVision is watching. Where the fuck am I? Yeah, you can find me on Facebook at George Coppen, actor and comedian. Find me on YouTube at George Coppen. I've got a few gigs coming up. I can't remember where. I've got Panto, which is back here. Yippee! At St Albans Arena from the 10th of December until the 3rd of January. So go and get your tickets now. And yeah, that's about it. And over to my dad. That's you, Al.
Right, I'm going to go
Thanks,
to
Tom.
Katie next, though.
I
I said over to my dad.
Yeah, you can
Back to you,
find me
son.
on. You can find Katie Does Comedy. Or also, if you want to buy an awesome handmade bespoke Christmas dress, check out Ginger Walrus on Facebook when it works. It's a bit shit running a whole business on a Facebook group and then Facebook down, isn't it? Because that's it. no orders today. And also, I am at the Tap in Derby tomorrow with Roger for Alex Leam's night.
And Dan live.
It's down there as well. I don't know
Yeah.
who's there, but yeah. So come down if you're around because it's going to be a really good night. I'm not getting my belly out this time. So
I'm not coming Wait, what did you already know? I know you already knew all of it because I promoted it on your show last night, Alex.
Okay, and let's go to Lord Sparkles.
Go on, Dad.
What's that, Katie? Christmas dresses? Perhaps you need something else. Inflate and Paint are providing that lovely spooky thing of suffocating these little shits in see-through things so you can do the countdown. They seem to be extremely popular. So, yeah, go to inflateandpaint.co.uk. Not down at all, unlike Facebook. And just contact us there and look at our prices. Inflateandpaint.co.uk. You could use www.inflateandpaint.co.uk. I wonder what's there. There'll be some balloons, you know that. If you want to see me do some comedy, I'm around. Just wish. That'll probably happen.
Yeah. Can I just say, other balloon retailers are available.
No, they're
Yeah,
not.
but they're nowhere near as
They're
good
not
as
very
me.
good.
Yeah, they're not good. They're
What
not
kind
as
of
weird as
insult is this supposed to be? You've already advertised BritBox, and I brought a box. I brought a box on here.
And you're British.
Yeah.
Yes, I am actually. None
Anyway,
of this English stuff.
I'll come on to myself. I'm
Ew,
at
that's
the
disgusting.
Comedy
Oh, you were
Artist
doing
Tasty
under the
tomorrow night at the Tapping Derby on Derwent Street. Start at 8 o'clock. If you're around in Derby, it's a really good night out, and come and have a laugh with us.
It's
And if
got
you
a
want to know
very
what-
good range of ales there as well. That's something you neglected to say. And fantastic other drinks. And I believe it serves food as well.
does occasionally, yes. So, and the other thing with myself, if you look at my website, which is www.icanseethestagefromhere.uk, you can find out what I'm doing because I have an events list. So, anyway, I'd like to thank my viewers for watching and for joining us. And for all those people on Facebook who have to see the recorded version, because Facebook are a bunch of idiots tonight, and I'm going to have to upload this and spend time uploading it and getting it back onto Facebook. By all means, leave comments on the video if you're watching it. If you're watching on YouTube, please press like. And if you're not subscribed to my channel, please press subscribe. On Facebook, please press like and come and follow me. So not with pitchforks, though. Anyway, I'd like to say thank you to my guests tonight. That's George Coppen, Lord Sparkles, and Katie Brown. And there's only one thing to do, and that's run the closing titles. Thank you very much.
Bye.
Leave it there.